Shalom, shalom, Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto YAHAWAH, BaHashem, YAHAWASHI, BaHashem, Waqwa Quadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to the mighty Akim, Waqwathim, who are diligently waiting to be delivered from this foul captivity, as well as a speckled bird that may look like the other nations, but are actually Yasharallah. This is Brother Kawa coming at you with no lesson. Today's lesson, I really want to get into this because I feel the Spirit has been on me, and it just, today, it's just a quick lesson, probably, maybe, Yahawadah, but today's lesson, number one, I want to go back and show a few things that I had posted on my post tabs, my community tab, whatever it's called. Sometimes it's community, sometimes it's post, but for me, it says posts and stuff like that, so maybe it might say community tab for you, but if you go there, you'll see a bunch of stuff that I did, and I sometimes I made them into lessons, sometimes they're just me sharing a brother's lesson. Definitely go check the post tabs out, because I do sometimes post like specific videos I think that people generally need to watch or generally need to see, especially if I don't make a lesson on it, because I normally don't make lessons on stuff like this. I didn't make a lesson on this, I don't remember if I did, but this is definitely something. This basically the whole thing where which I actually showed. I'm not going to go into all of them, but I just wanted to show you an example where this was basically this whole Iron Man suit that they did, that they made, all right. And I thought that was definitely something to share, because this is actually pretty scary to know that they can make something like this and it's usable, it's actively usable. And what do you think that this type of technology is going to be for? It's going to be for hunting down Jake, and they already implemented I forgot which not country it was, which city it was in America, but I forgot which city it was, where they said that they have like robot dogs and whatever that goes around policing people and whatnot. And I thought, okay, so they have all this technology, dangerous technology, okay, where they don't, it's just dangerous, okay, like there's really nothing else to really talk about. And I just wanted to, this brother had titled this video, "This is why spiritual power is going to be needed," because we are not able to handle stuff like this. And a gun is not going to save you. Jake thinks that because he has a gun, he's the top man on campus, whatever the freaking term is, or saying, however the saying goes. He thinks that he can handle stuff. He thinks that a gun's going to protect him and save him and all that stuff. Well, if you shoot this thing with your gun, what do you think's going to happen? You're barely going to dent it, and they're still going to be shooting at you. All right. And on top of that, Esau has better aim than Jake. Jake doesn't have no freaking, most Jakes don't have freaking, obviously there's war veterans and stuff like that, as well as people that, normal Jakes, or some Jakes that actually go to the shooting range and stuff like that, but that is very common. All right, I mean, not very common. All right, so Jake is not going to be prepared for that type of firepower, and they can't handle this stuff. Okay, so I just thought this is a perfect example to kind of show off some more stuff. Okay, we just saw that first one. This next one is this Jake had got into a fight with this one, or not. No, I don't think he got into a fight. I forgot what the thing is because it's been so long. But basically, he said he had saved this Eve from this Edomite dude that was acting all tough and whatnot. So and that's the thing where because he got out of it well. And this reminds me of a story where I actually did a lesson, okay, where I had, bear with me one moment, Slakia. Okay, so basically, as I was saying, this reminded me of a story that I had talked about and did a lesson on, where I got into a fight with an Edomite guy, with this Edomite, and he obviously started the fight. And the funny thing was, I recorded it, I was holding my phone recording him initiating the fight, and then and then basically as the fight started, when he initiated and all that stuff, at the end of the fight, he basically was on the floor bleeding and all this stuff. But I don't want to say that I beat him. Okay, I think because there was no one else, in that fight, and I think most people would say, well, you two were the only ones in the fight, so of course you beat him. But the thing is that because I try to look at things spiritually, and because I try to look at things spiritually, I don't give credit to, and even when that first happened, I didn't give any credit to myself. When I retold the story, whenever I told a brother or whatever, I said, hey, this happened and whatnot, I literally made sure to say, hey, I definitely did not win that fight. It was YAHAWASHI that did that. And the reason why is because I just felt like the circumstances, even though I was ready to fight and I stood my ground and all this stuff, even though I was like defending myself, again, like I did not want to fight and I did not initiate the fight. I literally have video evidence of him literally doing it, as well as he threw the first punch. He threw the first punch, and then I defended myself. Anyway, the thing about that was how the circumstances, whatever happened, and in my blind rage, he ended up on the ground bleeding and busted his face. But I feel I just, because I was so blinded by rage and I was just so fed up with all the bullshit that guy was doing, at the end of it, I was calming down, I was breathing heavily and stuff like that, and then I just feel like that was YAHAWASHI that did it. Slaki, it sounds so lackluster, and I'm not really giving a lot of details, but I'm just trying to say that at the end of the day, that was the Lord's work. Okay. Anyway, but yeah, he thought I was weak and all that stuff, but he ended up on his ass, but by YAHAWASHI. Anyway, next, another video. This video where this baby, 3-month-old baby was freaking talking. Okay. Again, I'm not gonna go into all these videos and this is not no 2025 recap. I'm just showing you a few things, okay? Because I want to go into this stuff. But actually, let me actually get this. Colossians chapter 2 verse 5. For though I be absent in the flesh, yet am I with you in spirit, joying and beholding your order and the steadfastness of your faith in Hamashiach. Basically, our power, YAHAWAH, okay, they're with us in spirit. YAHAWASHI is not with us in the flesh. All right, the prophets are there in the flesh. Yahweh isn't in here in the flesh. Okay, we don't have someone actively watching us in the flesh, but we have YAHAWASHI, we're watching us, the Holy Spirit watching us through the Spirit. So that's where it's like, okay, well, this is what is helping us make it through these stuff. And that also leads me into another thing that I want to kind of talk about, where there was this one song that I just loved. I absolutely loved. I don't know. It's been like a few years, a couple of years. I forgot what year it first came out, and like this for a good while. I think like I don't know how long it was. It was a song that I did listen to, but I don't think it was my like absolute favorite song. And then randomly, unprovoked, by the way, like I didn't hear it because no one plays this song. All right. I didn't play this song, and I don't have anything on my current playlist that would play this song and stuff like that. So basically what happened was that I randomly in my mind just started singing that song, and then I don't know, I just started singing it out loud, and then I was like, yeah, like I love the song. What it's been so long since I heard this song. Let me go listen to the song and whatnot and whatever. And I remember I looked up the definition. Oh, this is the song, by the way. This is the song. The song is "Shuen" by Overworld. I love this. I actually love this song for, I don't know, just for some reason. And then what happened was I looked up the definition of this song. I knew what it was. And I was trying to find it before I typed in. I knew what it was. I tried to look it up before. I couldn't find it and all that stuff. And then, I actually found it. When I found it, Google AI basically said that this means, the name Shuen, it means end or demise. So I'm over here like randomly, all right. And again, I'm not trying to say anything. I ain't trying to say anything. I'm just saying that it's just kind of the spirit. Okay, I'm not saying no false prophecies. I'm not doing all that shit. I'm not being no overly zealous. I'm just sharing what my experience is. I'm just letting you know something. All right. So as I was saying before, randomly these past few days, I've been kind of. I just felt the song resonated with me, and I was like, okay, well, let me go find out this, because it's been a long time since I heard this song and stuff like that. So let's see what's going on. Let's check it out again. And then, this song called "Demise," out of all the songs that I've ever heard and listened to, this particular song came to mind. All right, and I was singing it in my head, singing it out loud, and all that stuff and whatnot. It's just like, this is pretty good. And then and lo and behold, because I knew initially, I kind of want to re-preface this. Initially, I was thinking, I already looked it up. The year it was released, the day it was released, I already looked it up. I already knew what the name was. So I was searching it up and typing "the end," but I was having a hard time finding it, so I had to put it in Japanese so I could find it. And then the Google, the AI stuff, it corrected me and showed me, demise and then end, where it's not. I guess back then I had a misunderstanding, slight misunderstanding, where technically it was still correct to say "the end" or "end" and whatnot, but I guess this took a deeper turn because I didn't know it meant something like demise, like, because I just thought it was, okay, well, the end as in the conclusion. That's why I initially had thought, but this instead means like demise. Well, let's just actually Google it. Demise definition: a person's death, conveyance or transfer of property, or a title of demising. That is fucking insane. That is beautiful. And I didn't search this up until now. I didn't search it up until now in law. Look at both of these two definitions. Like, that's how beautiful this stuff is. The Lord just, through the Spirit, the Lord just works. Man, the Lord is just working. And the crazy thing is, like, damn, man, Slocky. Let's continue on. So the baby stuff. Next, what's this? Moshe is coming soon. This man warning, well, I'll take you. Oh yeah, so this was another thing that I had to make a post on. This was because the brother in this video, when I was watching the video, he was basically talking about how a lot of camps change up their doctrine. Like, if you see Slocky, that's fucked up. I mean, yes, Sakari at the same time, because they changed and said, okay, well, we don't mess with Paul, we don't mess with this and stuff like that. What's it called? HOI. not HOI, what's it called? I forgot the name. WFI. I don't have any evidence to prove this, so I can't prove this. But to the best of my memory, I feel like I believe, speaking as a man, don't quote me on this, but I believe that I did hear WFI speaking about the MOTB being the RFID. I think I heard that before, several years ago, when I was early on in this truth. But again, they're not saying, I don't think that they're saying that anymore, so I don't want to lie on them. I don't want to say that they're saying that now, but I feel like they might have changed that. And then the next thing is, Genesis and Hassad, Genesis of Hassad and Deacon Genesis, I believe they have been changing stuff up constantly. Who else? There was also there's been a lot of stuff like Gentile salvation, New Covenant. Oh, ISCPK. They're saying that there was a debate on that where the average Israelite has been saying that this is causing confusion, when in reality it's not really causing confusion, and there shouldn't be any confusion. It's like you should know by now what you believe, but because so many people are not studying, and it's really just about entertainment. All right, it's really just about entertainment, and people going to this debate with debate with that and all this different stuff like that, rather than actually studying and actually being able to come to their own conclusion. Then people are honestly just easily persuaded. All right, let me actually get this. Romans 14:5. One man esteemeth one day above another, another esteemeth every day alike. Let every man be fully persuaded in his own mind. Basically, you need to be able to definitively say that I believe in this, or I'm not dropping off, or I'm not slacky. I fully believe in, we're not in the new covenant, and this is the reason why I'm gonna bring up all this stuff. But rather than allowing yourself to be led astray and manipulated by someone trying to pull the wool over your eyes, or just talking about another doctrine in general. Okay, there are a lot of people that as soon as they hear Gentiles can be saved, well, they don't there's no proofreading. It's the only proofreading comes from other people that may or may not be manipulating the masses. And that's the thing where you have to be able to study on your own. Speak to myself first and foremost, because I think that is something that you need to be able to definitively convince not just yourself, but you have to definitively be able to break it down. And that's the thing where Gentile salvation is something that they have been debating against, and then now all of a sudden they're doing what's his name job for him. Slakia, bear with me one moment. Slakia. So all this crap that all these debates they were talking about, they were doing against Christians and all these other people, saying how the Bible is only for the Israelites. Now all that is just out the window. All these years of you debating all that for what? All right, genuinely for what? All right, how were you debating so definitively, so convincingly, beating all these people? Because that's really the thing. They don't have any arguments against the scriptures, because the scriptures are very clear cut. And then now all of a sudden, now you're switching up. All right. So yeah, that was something that I absolutely just did not like. I hated hearing that shit. That was so annoying for me. All right. And the thing is that I didn't even need to do much studying, because it's in a lot of the scripture. a lot of the scriptures that they use. All right, so Slakia, let's continue on because it's not about that specifically. Next, 2 Ezra chapter 9, verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Basically, the thing here is that we're measuring the time. We're seeing the signs of heaven. Sometimes we see certain signs that the Lord might give us. All right, sometimes so that's why I just wanted to fail. That's why I just thought the Spirit, maybe I should talk about this, show what I saw myself. All right, that's why it's not no me giving prophesying and say, because I have not said that what is going to be, oh, this is the year and all that stuff. Like, no, I'm definitely not saying that. I pray that this is the year. I prayed that yes, last year was the year, but just we're watching. All right, and even the scripture said, don't be presumptuous and prophesy false time, just like what that one South African pastor did, where he said that one day, I think in November or something like that, was going to be when Yahawadah or the God would take up people or whatever and whatnot, and they had to go to some isolated place. And then look at what happened. Nothing happened. All right, because the scriptures even said no man know the day or hour. All right, but yet he tried anyway. Let's actually get that real quick, and that's why I'm just doing this. Matthew chapter 24, verse 36. But of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. So even Yahawadah doesn't even know. Yahawadah doesn't know when he's in return. And it says the day and hour. And that's the thing. Let me actually get this, because this is also a good precept. Luke chapter 12 verse 43. Blessed is that servant whom his Lord when he cometh shall find so doing. Of a truth I say unto you, that he will make him ruler over all that he hath. But if that servant say in his heart, my Lord delayeth his coming, and shall begin to beat his men servants and his maidens, and to eat and drink and to be drunken, the Lord of that servant will come in a day when he looketh not for him, and at an hour he is not aware of, and come asunder, and will appoint him his portion with the unbelievers. Basically, actually, hold on. There's one specific thing. If I knew what day the thief Matthew chapter 24 verse 43. But know this, if the good man of the house had known in what watch the thief would come, he would have watched and would not have suffered his house to be broken up. Basically, the Yahawadah is going to come as a thief in the night. So basically, you're never going to know when a thief is going to come into your house. And in that same vein, the fuck was that? Oh yeah, in that same vein, because you are always prepared. Like it's like you treat every day, every night like, oh, you're gonna get robbed and whatnot, rather than I'm not gonna get robbed, so I'm not gonna put up any preparations and stuff like that. So as a result of that, then when the thief actually comes, as you're not prepared, then okay, well, you're just gonna have your stuff stolen and whatnot. That's basically how that stuff is. Where if you are a servant preparing for the return of your Lord, that's like, or better yet, if you're a child and your parents said, hey, you better put that chicken to defrost, take that chicken out the freezer to defrost and whatnot, and then you don't do that, you wait until the last minute when you hear the door being unlocked, then you go, oh my god, let's go do this, and then you're not ready, and then, oh well, then now you're gonna have to face the wrath of your parents, or in this parallel, you're going to face the wrath of Yahweh, Yahawashi, as a result of your ill preparedness. All right. So, yeah, something to take note of. Where is the next one? Jeremiah chapter 10 verse 2, thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. Basically, as we were watching the signs of heaven, which there's been a lot, with I think America is bombing some countries or some shit like that. I don't remember. I definitely try to be on top of the stuff like this, but sometimes it's just I don't see things yet. But yeah, there's just a lot of things that be going on and stuff like that. So yeah, I thought with all these, it was pretty nice to see, Yahawadah, things can pop off more sooner rather than later. This is nice to see, because or us Israelites, we don't have any of this, technology and shit like that. We're not no Avengers or anything like that. But the funny thing about that is that our power comes from YAHAWAH and His. So the Lord's gonna give us that spiritual power, those spiritual bodies, in order to be able to do them. Let me actually get that, and then I'll end off there. First Corinthians 15. 1 Corinthians chapter 15 verse 52, in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. So our bodies will be changed, okay, into the perfect incorruptible bodies. Perfect bodies. We can't get sick. We don't need to do all that crap and whatnot. We're just gonna be perfect, okay? We're gonna have all the powers that Yahawashi did and more. As Yahawashi said, I believe it's in John 14:12, where it says, the works that I do, ye shall do and more. So with that, I pray this lesson was edifying. I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahawah Hashem, Yahawashi Hashem, double honor to the elders and apostles, great millstone of Bod, and Shalom.